Welcome back to Marvel Media Podcast, where we talk about all things media, especially Marvel.
Damn, it didn't focus.
I'm Blake, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Josh and Alex.
Welcome to episode 21 of Gold or Fold, where today we are naming off our top 5 directors of all time. Why did you get orange?
Why am I red now? What the hell's going on?
Bob the
Josh went
Tomato
into
from
emergency
VeggieTales has decided to make an
I'm
appearance.
back.
Shout out,
I'm back.
special guest. We're better the other way. All right, I'll start us off. Number 5. Now, these are our favorite directors, people. These are not the best of all time, just our favorites.
Yes.
But my list is
Sorry.
the best of all times because I know better than everyone else. I know cinema, film, as some call it, as I call it, because I'm a douchebag. My number 5 was a respect pick. Steven Spielberg, all right? I put him at 5 because it was respect for everything he's created. Obviously, Jaws, Indiana Jones, E.T., the Jurassic Park series, Schindler's List, okay? Had to just show him a little respect, all right? Guy started a long time ago. Created a lot of franchise, big budget movies. So, number 5, just give Spielberg some respect.
It's a beta pick or whatever.
Okay, you're number 5. Go ahead.
Whoa. Gosh. My number 5 is James Wan, who did mainly the majority of the Conjuring series movies. He directed majority of those, and I just gave him some respect because that's my favorite horror series, and I think it's very hard to actually make a good, scary movie. So I gotta give respect to it.
I can't remember. Did he direct the first Saw movie, I think, too?
He partook in it. I don't know if it was the first one. I know he's credited at least some of the Saws. I know he also did Conjuring 1 and 2 for sure. He didn't do the third one, which is why the third one's not that good. But yeah.
Okay. Well,
Hey, it's horror, scary, Blake, all right? I'm not discrediting my goated Halloween trilogy, bro.
All right, I was about to say,
it's not. You know what I mean?
Better,
That's different.
better
That's
walk that
slasher
back
genre.
real quick.
It's slasher
Okay,
genre.
okay.
It's different.
Nah, you're right. You're true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Even though the opening of Halloween Ends, come on, everybody jumped on that one. Just saying. Yeah. Go see Halloween Ends.
So, my number 5 is Adam McKay. Adam McKay is the director of, here are some of his movies. Anchorman 2, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, The Other Guys.
Okay.
All really funny movies. I enjoy those movies.
Basically, if Will Ferrell was in it, he directed it.
Not all of them, but yes. And I think recently he did the one movie with Christian Bale where he plays this one political figure. Can't remember who he played.
Vice?
Yes. I think so.
That's where he played.
But he directed
Cheney.
that one. Yes. Yep. He directed that movie too. So yeah, recently he's got into a serious role or a serious bag of film. So, but for me personally, it's for those movies because I just enjoy them. They're a fun time.
So everything with Will Ferrell, except for Elf, our boy Jon Favreau did that. Shout out John, not on the list, but he's goated. Alex, go with your number 4.
Yeah, shout out.
Hey, facts. He ain't on that list.
Hey, he is not. Actually, did he?
Yeah, he's not on my list either. So for my number 4,
Didn't even think about
he did probably my favorite movie so far. I'm trying to think. Favorite movie outside of superhero movies this year.
It's a big claim.
He did Bullet Train
This year.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, we all know what he's about.
Bullet Train. He is David Leitch. He directed Bullet Train. He directed, to some extent, Deadpool 2. And he went uncredited because he actually co-directed the first John Wick movie with Chad Stahelski, but he wasn't credited at the end. But he did co-direct technically. So, but mainly for me, it was for the movie that he made this year, Bullet Train. I love that movie. Recently bought it on 4K. Still have yet to watch it because it just came in, but I do plan on rewatching that one because I thought it was a fun time. and I enjoy the way he directs, especially since he was a stunt actor turned director, so he knows how to choreograph fights and shoot fights. So I like that movie a lot.
I respect that pick. I still need to watch that movie. Just haven't got to it. I want to. Been wanting to. Just haven't.
It's a fun time, bro.
Well, I'll just go with my number 4. I went with Ridley Scott. Just like great movies. I don't really need to say much about it. To solidify him being in the 4th spot was the OG Blade Runner, and then as well as The Martian, because the OG Blade Runner is just wild, especially with the director's cut version of it, as well as I low-key really like The Martian. Like, I was kind of just looking at just random movies that kind of helped me get an idea of like directors I actually like, because for the most part I don't really remember who directs the movies, to just be totally honest. And then I looked and I found The Martian. I was like, oh, that was pretty good. And then I was like, oh yeah, Ridley Scott, easy 4.
It's valid. I looked into him too. Martian is good. Martian's really good.
Yeah.
I've realized
See him
Matt Damon,
in
I
forever.
probably should give him a little bit more respect. Matt Damon, low-key, has been in some bangers in his time.
Yeah.
Is that
All
Jason
right, my number
Bourne?
4. Jesus Christ, Jason Bourne.
Right.
My number 4 is the Russo brothers. Just putting them together, they're the same thing. Obviously, this is solely a Marvel pick, as they did Endgame, Infinity War, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War. I mean, they've also done other stuff. They did that one with Chris Evans and Gosling. What's the name of it?
The Gray Man.
The Gray Man.
The Gray Man. Yeah, didn't watch it. Don't give a fuck. But just just solely because they are behind.
Nah, for sure, bro.
They are behind some of the best
Solid.
Marvel movies. Yeah, they're behind some of the best Marvel movies. So they're my number 4.
Hey, that's a great pick.
Damn.
I'll give a spoiler alert though. They're not on my list just because if we added allowed them to have the producer tag too, then they would have been so high, because they are producers and involved with so many great projects. But in terms of just directing, it's just straight, really, it's just Marvel. Infinity War,
Right.
Winter Soldier, Endgame. That's really just it.
Civil War.
No, we can avoid that one. I left it out for a reason. That
But
was not a good
they
mark on their record.
obviously just a huge Marvel fan. They've some top tier Marvel content they created, so gotta give them props.
Fair enough.
I can go.
All right, Alex, hit us with your 3.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
No,
Blake,
it's fine.
Blake, you
Fuck
go.
Alex.
You go, Blake.
Be
You
silent.
go.
Be
You go,
silent,
bro.
Alex. My number 3 is Matt Reeves. Obviously, he did the Batman this year. Phenomenal film. But Dawn of Planet of the Apes and Rise of Planet of the Apes did those.
War.
Incredible movies. That's what I said. Silence. He is just amazing with his special effects and the things that he could do. And I really appreciate that. He also does I don't even know what it's called, but where they actually do the stunts and stuff. It's not all just CGI'd, they do it all practically. And I just respect that a lot, instead of just in this, where he could just be, just garbage his way through CGI. They actually do stuff, I watch a bunch of the Batman, the making of, and some of the stuff they created was just insane. So I just got to give props to a guy who just goes all out for all of his projects, and now he's taken up, some of the stuff in the DC world with some of the spin-off stuff. I'm excited about that. Whether he'll be directing it or just kind of like a producer, we'll, kind of see. But producing-wise, those 3 films are just amazing.
Solid pick.
I agree. Well, initially going into this, I originally thought that all of us were going to have a similar top 3. And then when you said Russo brothers aren't on your list, you put them on 4. I'm like, okay, well, I guess not. I guess this is going to be kind of an original video. So that's good. So for my number 3, I have Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is my number 3. Obviously, Dark Knight trilogy, The Prestige, love that. I'll kind of give my reasoning later as to why he's 3 and he's not 2 or 1. But as of right now, I got to give respect to just those films in particular that I just pointed out for Christopher Nolan. So number 3.
So this is kind of tough. So my number 3 is after Alex saying, yeah, we're gonna have original lists. Number 3, Matt Reeves. I gotta put him on there just because Planet of the Apes. My God, I quote that movie way too much and have too many images for it. And he would be higher up there, and I think he will. If we give it like a couple years, and if we try to remake this video, he will be there, like easily, probably top number 1. But yeah, he's 3, and I'm just gonna give my number 2, Christopher Nolan. My number 2. Now, not because of the Dark Knight trilogy. I don't give a fuck about that when it comes to him directing. I give a fuck about Interstellar, and that's the reason why he's number 2. Because the behind the scenes and all like the background knowledge and effort they went through to make Interstellar so good as it is, I mean, that's just some goat shit right there. A director to give that much of a fuck about a movie, to go into the exact details and math for everything. So that's an easy number 2. Also, as well as he like really tries. Sometimes he has some misses, but he really tries in films to add some different distinctive part for that film. So it's not like each film of his is the same. So I like that.
Okay, well, since you said that, my number 2 is Matt Reeves. He's up there.
Of course, bro.
Why did you say it, Alex? Why did you say it?
Listen, you guys didn't have Russo brothers on there, so it automatically changed who our top 1 is going to be. So Matt Reeves. Okay, the reason why I have him over Christopher Nolan, I just find that his movies, or at least the ones that I really, really like from both of them, I find them more rewatchable. I've, at least in recent years, I've rewatched more of Matt Reeves' movies than I have of Christopher Nolan's movies. Doesn't take away from the fact that both of them are really good directors. I mean, probably like Josh said, in terms of like their actual filmmaking ability, you probably will have to give like the edge to Christopher Nolan, but still. Just me personally, I personally have Matt Reeves over Christopher Nolan, just based on rewatchability alone.
Valid. You guess who my number 2 is, guys? It's Christopher Nolan.
Nolan, there it is.
But not for the reasons you guys said. For me, it's
for sure.
Inception. It's Inception. Different movie. No, obviously the Dark Knight trilogy is so good. The Prestige is like I don't know, that's just like a weird one that the 3 of us always love to mention, and it's just great for some reason because we've never talked about it like off camera, but every time we get on camera, somehow the Prestige gets mentioned. Interstellar, Inception, I think what's great about him is his like sense of time is so good. Like Josh talked about with Interstellar, there's a bunch of things that they did, like the math, and like when they're on the one planet, like you hear the clock ticking and it's for like every year. And then in like the Dark Knight, when he shoots, like when he goes to Hong Kong to bring the guy back and he shoots his little like things on the window to blow it up, he sets it for like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, and it's literally they go off in that exact amount of time, like in real time. Like all the fighting and stuff happens, like it happens in that time. And I just think that's such a cool detail. Like you said, like he cares so much about his movies, and like it's just his sense of time. I think he does really good. And like, he did Tenet, which was a whole thing about going back in time and stuff. Kind of, hey, Pattinson was in the movie and he said it himself. There was times I had no idea what was happening in that movie, and I feel like that's exactly what that movie was. He went a little over the top, but overall, I mean, he's just obviously, all of us have him up there. He's just a great director.
Yeah, like I said, he gets some slight misses at times, but like each movie has its own special uniqueness, which because he spends so much effort in it, and actual time about every detail. So it works.
I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I felt like one of his lower ones, for me personally, is Dunkirk. Like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I felt like it was just kind of like an okay movie.
Yeah, I ain't watching it.
That was the one I was saying was kind of the miss, where like he'll.
Yeah. I've had enough
cool
of those
shots,
movies.
Though.
Dunkirk, 1917. Let's be honest. World War II, World War I, long time ago. done with those. Know what happens. Spoiler alert. The guy with the awful mustache dies in the end.
Yeah. In fact, all guys with mustache died. So.
Facts. Alex, just give your number one, as we already know what it is.
Russo brothers, obviously. Come on, dude. Like you guys mentioned, Winter Soldier, goated fucking movie. Infinity War, goated fucking movie. Obviously they made Endgame, and then The Gray Man, which I actually watched. Actually, a really good movie. The action is helmed really well. And again, reason why I have them over Reeves and Nolan is just the rewatchability. I've just watched those movies more often to the point where I know what I'm going into, and I love it for it. So again, probably out of everyone that I've listed, Christopher Nolan, in terms of filmmaking ability, he's on top. So that's why they're my number one.
Fair enough.
Valid. Josh?
My number one probably isn't a shock for at least Alex, just because of one movie in particular they directed. Denis Villeneuve as Blade Runner 2049, goated movie, as well as he made Arrival, which was a great movie, and also now he's doing the Dune series, which the first one, some criticism there, but I don't fully blame him for the first Dune. But I think the second Dune movie is gonna be fucking great, and I'm very hyped solely just because of him.
Yeah, I figured Denis was going to be up there. So,
yep.
Did you say yikes? Josh doesn't even know his name.
I think it's Denis Villeneuve or whatever.
Is it really?
Yeah, bro, because he's from Canada. You fake beta ass fan. He also did Sicario. Why didn't you mention that one? That's a good one, and it has Emily Blunt.
He did do Sicario. I don't think he did the sequel though.
What?
What?
Never seen it.
Yeah, I remember being advertised, but
yeah, bro, that one was good.
For sure.
Dune sucked. Let's just be real. Dune sucked.
Listen,
did you watch it?
Him. No, I did not.
I actually enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't.
There's just so much source material that it's tough for that to come out with the first film. Like, it literally has to be a setup movie, and setup movies aren't ever going to be great.
Cap.
It was a good watch. I don't think I'll rewatch it again, but
Halloween was a setup.
Maybe just to kind of
kills. Checkmate, motherfucker.
Oh, you're mentioning a Go trilogy. Come on now. You can use that against anything.
True. So who's your number one?
That's easy, baby. Martin Scorsese. Love the guy. Doesn't have anything to do with the fact almost all of his movies happen to have Leonardo DiCaprio. Maybe, potentially. But he's just goated. Obviously, you got Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street, Shutter Island, Gangs of New York. The list goes on. The Departed, which I thought was mid, but we're not going to talk about right now. I love his movies. Obviously, like any director, he has. Nice to know, Josh. He has some misses, in my eyes. The Irishman, didn't watch it. It was 4 hours long. Sorry. He goes back a long time. He did a bunch of stuff with Bob De Niro, everyone's favorite, Raging Bull, Taxi Driver. But I just think, to me, it's kind of wild he's not in your guys' list, because he's just one of those people that he has so many, like, iconic movies that everybody knows. And part of it's because he does a bunch with Leo.
The main reason he's not
I understand.
Is I haven't seen majority of his movies, and also don't like some of his movies. So
like what?
Yeah,
like
they just don't seem like that appealing to me. Like, they're not that appealing to me.
I like Shutter Island, but
that's crazy.
It's not against you. Not against you here.
That's crazy.
Say me personally.
I enjoyed the Wolf of Wall Street. That's really one of the only ones I've seen that I can remember. Maybe I've watched Shutter Island. I think I have, but that was so long ago. I can't remember. Other than that, the other movies don't really intrigue me personally. I don't know why.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna wrap it up for our top five. Again, these are our personal top fives. This isn't anything, in particular. It's all personal. It's just our opinions. Make sure to comment down below what your thoughts are. Maybe some directors we left out in your eyes, or some that we mentioned that you really like. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, of course. Check us out on social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And check out Apple Podcasts, where we drop the podcast version at the same time. And we'll see you guys in the next one.